and welcome to Middle Age Geeks, the podcast where we aim to discuss movies, video games, TV shows, nothing else that takes our fancy. My name is Phil, I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Daz Murphy. Daz, how are you?
Very good, man. Very good. Had a lovely trip to the cinema yesterday to watch our movie, and then followed it up today with 5 hours in the garden, trying to tackle fucking weeds and the parasites that they are. So yeah, horrible day. Looking forward to getting stuck into today's movie, though. How are things with you?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, just a nice kind of chill weekend, and yeah, I'm looking forward. I have a couple of weeks off coming up, which I'm looking forward to doing fucking nothing for 2 whole weeks. It's going to be great. So for those of you who are new to the podcast, the main part of our show is a movie review every week. So we started off with sometimes some feedback and some, news, entertainment news, and then what we've been playing and watching. And then we do a movie review, which we split into 2 parts. So the first one is a spoiler-free part, and the second part is spoiler-heavy. So we're going to try and do an extended bit for the spoiler-free part tonight, just because it's really, everybody wants to see Deadpool and Wolverine, even if you're not a comic book fan. People are just Ryan Reynolds fans will go and see this. So we thought we'd try and keep it spoiler free for longer than we usually do, and then we'll get into all the spoilery stuff. But Daz, why don't you kick us off with you said you had a little bit of feedback. Would you want to start us off with that?
Yeah, from a friend of the show, Gavin Roberts from Wales via Dublin, good friend. He said he was just asking, had we seen Longlegs? And I said, yeah, last week's episode, we were, or a few weeks ago, we've done a few horror episodes for him to catch up on. And he said he was turned off by it, by the reviews and the marketing kind of clashing, which is something that kind of annoys him quite a lot. And I mentioned to him that you see that in trailers a lot, where the marketing team will maybe edit a trailer to look like something maybe it's not, to cash in on a certain market.
Yeah.
But he said, he was just sick of low budget horror movies, being scared of, or being labeled as like the scariest movie in years. And he's a horror lover like yourself. And he said he tends to go to these movies and he doesn't find them scary by his terms. He thinks that there's just maybe a lot of jump scares or something like that, and they're not as scary as proper horror movies from back in the day in the 80s and 90s, when he said himself where you'd go to see a movie that is labeled as the scariest movie of the year or whatever, and you'd be fucking terrified for 90 minutes in the cinema. You know what I mean? And that's why, recently, some of the movies that we watched, like Late Night with the Devil and Longlegs and a few others, I've found them to be kind of okay to watch, because some of them I find as more as like psychological thrillers with a few kind of jump scares, and they're terrifying to me in a certain way, but it's not like the scariest movie of the year. You know what I mean? So he just listed like the things like The Exorcist and stuff like that, where back in the day you really were fucking terrified. And I said, like, even something like The Blair Witch for me, where it's not about jump scares or anything like that. It's just about being fucking a nauseating level of terror at something that's not shown. And we've mentioned this before in some of our movie reviews, that when things are not shown, like Longlegs, like some of the best parts of movies like that, and when they just don't show you stuff, and that is more terrifying than revealing something, or something, as we said last time, like a supernatural element, kind of just taking the edge off the actual terror or the actual scariness of a movie. What are your thoughts of that? Like, a bit like you are kind of desensitized to horror movies.
But I agree with a lot of what Gavin's saying. For most movies, for me now, there wouldn't be a scary movie. There might be a few kind of little parts in it that would might make me jump or would sit with me. Like even like Doctor Strange is kind of a horror movie. Not Doctor Strange, Jesus, Doctor Sleep is kind of a horror movie. But like but it's fine. Like it's there's no jumps, there's nothing. It's not scary, but there's a very disturbing part in it, especially in the extended version with Jacob Tremblay, that I find really difficult to watch because it involves kid getting killed. You know what I mean? It's tough to watch. But like for most parts, no, I think a lot of movies have lost the ability to do that. I what you said about the stuff that's unseen, I think that's why it makes like It Follows quite good.
Yeah.
And even you saw the success of Paranormal Activity, when it kind of restarted the whole found footage horror thing. And they made that for like, I don't know, 100 grand, and it made what, a billion or something insane. Like, and like that, it was the unseen. It was just they were there, and the door was fucking moving, and because it was all in VHS, it's not. There's no dramatic music. It's just their, night cam that's set up and stuff like that. Got people fucking screaming in the cinema because it brings this realism into it. But it's so hard to find stuff that fucking scare the crap out of you. Like, I think the thing that the last movie that I was on, like, gripping the seat scared of was fucking Gravity. Man, I'm fucking terrified of empty space, man. Is the scariest fucking shit in the world. Like, and that was like the watching Gravity. I was on gripping the fucking seat the whole time, feeling sick to my stomach. Like, it was just that, because that particular thing terrifies me. But actual horrors, not really. And I think that's why I'm able to watch so many of them pretty much daily.
Yeah, that's kind of good. Yeah, the people's perception of what is scary is kind of wide and vast. I think some people think, like, just getting a fright is scary, and I still attest to the fact that you could stand outside the bathroom and scare your girlfriend, wife, or friend every day for the next 10 years, and they'd still get a fright every time you do it. It's just the easiest thing in the world. That's not scary to me. What's scary to me is I guess the unknown, or the tension, or the worry of something jumping out and then them not giving you that, or dragging that out for fucking like 20 minutes. Like, that is just, it's a tension that you can't break, and you're just being squeezed and you can't get out of it. I fucking love that. Yeah. But
and the music, I think, that was great, Gav. Yeah, that's a good question, or a good comment, Gavin. I think it's. I think, and you made a good point as well, but the sound and stuff that they use, and the music and the score can be massive too. Remember that in Sinister, I wasn't sure what I was going in to see, and the music that they use in that, and there's great boards of Canada tune in it, but it's excellent. The way they play with sound when he's rewatching these tapes and stuff, it's really, really good. But yeah, they're few and far between these days, great horrors. So I'm glad we've actually seen some okay ones this year. What about what you've been, what you've spotted, anything in the news maybe this week that we can discuss?
Well, I was actually just scouring during the week for, there was on the PlayStation Store, there was, the Summer of Madness fucking sale or something like that. And just, trying to pick up something like games under 20 quid or something. And for anyone who hasn't played Hi-Fi Rush that I keep fucking shouting on about, it's on the PlayStation now, but that's only €18. Pacific Drive, another like game of the year contender for me, is €18. And it was even one, I don't know if we ever played Riders Republic. Do you ever play that? The Ubisoft's kind of entry into the extreme fucking, grab your skis, mountain bike, snowboard, and wingsuit and all this stuff. No, like an open world fucking, it's fucking great. But like, there's online races and that where you're literally on a mountain bike with 100 other people online, and it's some of them are riotous fun.
Carnage.
Yeah, that's like a tenner. And kind of like things like Red Dead down to like 15 quid and stuff. And Titanfall 2, for anyone who hasn't fucking played it, is €5. It's like, oh my God.
It's an absolute bargain. I was saying that to my old boss last time. I was like, for one of the best single player campaigns, like you finish it in a day, but it's just, the gunplay is amazing. It's fucking class.
You'll always go back to it. Like every year or two, I'll go back and play that, as you say, because it's like fucking 8 to 10 hours or something like that. But like the Bioshock collection is €10 again, fucking banger. And Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, the trilogy, is €10, and it's just fucking great deals. Like, if you didn't play any of them, you could spend 50 quid and you've got like 5, 6, 7 like stellar fucking games. And that was one of the highlights of the week in terms of news, because the straight after I was surfing looking at that, spotted the new Borderlands trailer came out, trailer 2 or whatever, and like we were commenting, we saw this in the cinema when the trailer came on the last time we were watching something together, and we were kind of like, I think on the same page. We're like, not really excited for it, but it kind of looks like if they get it right, if they get the tone right and they get the performances right and music, whatever, it could be a bit of crack 3-star movie. And so I wasn't really excited for it, but we're going to watch it, we're going to review it hands down. But this movie sapped every like minuscule ounce of excitement out of it. This trailer is fucking awful. Like, it's eradicated any of that mild enthusiasm. It just looks like, oh fuck, this looks just really bad. It's just, are these the best parts of the movie that they're putting in it? It just, I'm a bit worried for this, but excited to review it at the same time.
Yeah, look forward to that in a few weeks' time, guys. We'll be reviewing that one for sure.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. I guess the Joker 2 trailer as well. That
yeah. Oh god,
it looks fucking amazing.
I think it looks incredible. And
it's interesting, yeah. It's interesting. Like at points, it looks fucking amazing, and then, but it's I'm still not quite sure what's real and what's not. That kind of works in a way, but yeah, I'm unsure as what's actually happening in the movie. Like the trailer is fantastic, but it seems to be showing a very small aspect of the movie in terms of story. Wise, it's just amazing shots, when they're when they have their own TV show or something like that, and you're kind of going, right, that's obviously in your head. So what else is happening? And Todd Phillips has come out and said, like, don't expect this Joker to turn into the clown prince of crime. That's not where they're going with this. He's not a mastermind. Yeah. He's not this clever fucking genius. It's the different take, and you kind of got that from the first movie anyway. But there was people online kind of going, "Oh, is this the start? Is it going to be Batman and fight Batman?" And you're just like, different. It's different thing altogether. But the trailer is gorgeous and it's just very intriguing. There's a lot of people that don't like when trailers don't tell them what the story is, but sometimes the title alone kind of just drags you in. It's the Joker sequel. I mean, you're going to go see it, right? Absolutely. Did you?
Yeah, you've got enough. Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved that they haven't given much away, and the fact that it's, like, I think they've got enough credit in the bank after the first one that you shouldn't need the second one. Like he's, got an Oscar-winning performance out of Joaquin Phoenix. I'm really looking forward to it, man. I'm dying to find out what's real, what's not. I would hate if this ended up having Batman entwined with this. I know there was talk of it and all this stuff. I don't. It's a different type of character. He's not this mastermind or anything like that. He's just a dude. You know what I mean?
And exists in his own world. Yeah. And that's, the Waynes are in it, whatever. But it's just like it's a different thing.
I don't want to see him, out fighting Batman and his goons taking on Batman, that kind of thing. It's just that's a different. We've you're not going to top the Dark Knight anyway. So
don't go there.
Yeah. Anything else for yourself and your end?
No, not really. What did you catch this week?
Well, just the announcement of the Boys spin-off. If people have obviously watched Gen V, there's another one, and this one is a prequel. So Anya Cash and what the fuck is your man's name? Something Jenkins, whatever, from Supernatural. He was Soldier Boy in the So they're going to both be in it because they've been around for whatever. They're immortal almost. So they'll be in this prequel, which should be cool. Because you can do so much of it, I mean, it's I think it's called The Rise of Vought or something like that. And then as well, Spawn.
Is season 4? Is season 4 any good? I haven't.
Season 4 is really good, but it's just when you're comparing it to the other seasons, it's not as good. But it finishes well. Like it finishes on a holy shit. But it's I don't know, like it's getting like middling reviews from some people, but
saw that.
And there's not as many holy shit, can you believe they did that moments. But it's still there's a few of them, and it's it's worth a watch.
One more season,
it's
right?
Still
one more
season, tied off.
Cool.
One more, but then I mean, like you said, you've got the spin-offs, you've got Gen V, and you've got this new one, so they'll be coming for a while, and I'm sure there'll be cameos, from the lads in the spin-offs as well, just the way these things go. The other bit of news was Spawn. So we Spawn movie with Todd McFarlane Spawn there was the original one back in the day with Michael J. White, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was campy and ridiculous, but like it's cult classic. It's still fun to watch, and they spent a bomb on it, like. And
the visual effects back then were just like, holy fucking shit, how are they doing this? How are you doing this?
But this one has been in the works for ages. Like Jamie Foxx had signed on years ago. I don't know if he's definitely still going to star in as Spawn. But it's officially going ahead, officially named King Spawn. So we'll see how that goes. And the only other bit of news that I had was just a quick thing, because it's great to be able to touch on some Irish news and Irish talent. And so Damian McCarthy is an Irish director, and he released a movie a few years ago called Caveat that had done quite well. And his new one, Oddity, it's not out here until the end of August in Ireland, which is a pain in the hole because it's already out in the States and has been for the last couple of weeks. But it's been like lauded by both critically and audience scores as well. It's doing so well, and like it's great to see that he's like he has this really distinct style, and he films like his stuff in like this old fucking barn and shit. Like it's low budget but incredibly well done, and it's just great when to hear stories like that. A dude who started off really, really small and has got something that's fucking taken off. And maybe this is the one, Gavin. Maybe if you're listening, Gavin, this could be the one. That might get you carrying behind your seat. But I'm looking forward to checking that out now in a few weeks' time when it's out.
That's class.
What about now we move on to what we've been playing and watching? So, Daz, what about yourself? What have you been playing besides the million games that you downloaded from the PlayStation Store?
They are, the catalog is growing, but I didn't really watch anything bar or movie this week, but I played a shitload of games. I'll fly through, but like I played Concord, the PS5 open beta, that the PS5 exclusive hero shooter. Played that yesterday, Sunday, for a few hours, and really, really fucking good. I think, like we've talked before about, online first-person shooters and just being demolished by these fucking 12-year-old whiz kids who tell you you're a fucking this and that while they're fucking sniper rifling you from 5 miles away. But it's nice playing like a hero shooter where everyone has their specific character and their specific attributes, like healing and tank and support and all this kind of stuff. And it's cool. It's great art style, kind of but the intro cinematics and the open beta, like subtitles were all delayed all over the place. Kind of weird. It's one of those, at least it wasn't gameplay that they were kind of messing up in the beta, but I had a really nice time. I don't know if I'll play when it comes out, because it's very hard when something's free. You're just like, this is a lot of fun. Am I going to spend 60 quid on it or whatever when it comes out? But it's out August 23rd. Depends how it reviews. I might pick it up. But then I was going through the PS Plus games of the month, and there was one called Teardown, which it's like I've played for about 2 or 3 hours. Like a low poly kind of open world demolition game where you have kind of specific tasks to blow up and destroy buildings, and like in one mission you have to reduce the height of a particular house because a developer wants to put in a viewing platform somewhere, some resort or something. So you go around just blowing up fucking houses and stuff, and you have a sledgehammer and dynamite and ranger tools. And
that's it. It's a
bit of crack for the first hour, but then things get more intense, like because sometimes when you have to destroy a certain safe or something, or 3 safes in this warehouse, but an alarm will go off the minute you blow one of them, and you got 30 seconds, so you have to kind of go around and strategically blow up ways through walls and whatever to try and make your escape, plan your escape before you go nuts. Bit of fun. Played it for like 2 hours. I'm not going to play it anymore. Just pick up, play. It's a bit of crack. But then I got stuck into Star Trek Resurgence, which has been out for like 2 fucking years now. How I missed this game. I was only telling you a few weeks ago about Star Trek Online when I tried to scratch that Star Wars itch. And Star Trek Online is fucking abysmal. Star Trek Resurgence, the PS5, it's fucking great. It's like playing a TV episode. The way it's structured, like in the chapters, and the titles come on every time there's a chapter. And it's kind of dialogue choice kind of game. With excellent story. The gameplay is clunky as fuck. The graphics are fucking rubbish. Like it's a single.
Really? It's only 2 years ago, and they're terrible.
Yeah, I think. I think it's like the developer. There must have been like 2 people on the team or something. But it's
okay, right?
Yeah, like they're passable. Like it's high res and all that, but it's like fucking like lip syncing is not great. It's like kind of people when you're controlling the character, it's like controlling a cardboard box walking around and stuff. The animation is pretty shit as well, but the characters you meet and the stories you go on, about 5 hours in, and it's really fucking engaging. It's really, that's perfectly scratching the itch. It's great, and that's my kind of game of choice now when I get an hour or two. I think it's only 12 hours long, so should finish it quick enough. And then finally What's not great is Crime Boss Rocket City. Remember when this thing was announced?
Why are you even playing that?
Because it was a free download. It was just the same way we fucking review Madam Web and all these other rubbish things. It was like, just literally set a timer.
Don't speak ill of the Madam.
Turning into a cult
it has,
classic.
yeah. Like
he's watched it.
I genuinely actually enjoyed the movie. Now there's something wrong with me.
But yeah, this game I actually just set a stopwatch to see how long I would play it for. It's as bad. Like I got a 3 or a 4 out of 10 and IGN and all that, and that's being quite generous. It's fucking appalling. I think it lasted 22 minutes. And it just pretends to be a GTA clone. It's like set in Florida. It's Michael Madsen, like Michael Rooker, Danny Trejo, Kim Basinger, fucking Vanilla Ice, like, Chuck Norris. like Chuck Norris.
Because it was announced at one of the Game Awards, wasn't it announced at one of the Game Awards or something? Yeah.
To announce, and everyone's just like, whoa, what the fuck? And the intro cinematic that they showed that night has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. Like the intro cinematic in this is completely different, but like the cinematic to set up the story is about 4 seconds long. It's like, hey, we're in Florida and this guy's the boss, so I'm going to take him down. And that's it. It's just 3 shots. Some missions like last about 25 fucking seconds. You just stealing diamonds and then zip tie guards and then run away in a van. And it's kind of like a turf war map. Like it's kind of a shitty version of like playing the board game Risk or something, where it's just like, oh, we're going to pop into this region and steal this, fucking bad guy's truck. Lip syncing's awful. The cutscenes are awful, laughable. It's the amount of times I just said, wow, just wow. Yeah, but I think 23 minutes, I just went, fuck this, delete and get off my machine before it installs a virus or something. Yeah, atrocious. So varying degrees of decent games. Yeah. Absolute utter shite, and because of that I didn't really watch anything. How about yourself?
I'm kind of the opposite. I didn't really play much this week. I dipped in and out, but I did watch. Ahead of the movie this week, I actually watched Deadpool 1 and 2, and I watched Logan. Yeah, I love all 3 movies, so it wasn't exactly a chore. Yeah. And then the other thing is I wanted to touch on, right, and I'm gonna go off on one now, but I didn't discuss it last week. But the Acolyte. I finished it. I watched it, so you don't have to. It's like, man, this is fucking shocking. And I get it. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan and you don't care about the lore and all the rest of it, know, and that's what a lot of people are angry about. Like, it's still just terrible from every other technical standpoint. You know what I mean? From writing to acting, the sets, the continuity, but like in their own show from episode to episode isn't right.
Wow.
Like, there's so much it doesn't make sense. Even like you've watched it yourself,
Yeah.
And they waste
the episode
time.
Itself
like a filler
that I
like
watched didn't make sense. Just the episode the episode didn't make sense. Just what? You're just contracting something you said 10 minutes ago.
Well, that's it. Like, and they've spent 180 million on this, but so much of the time is spent flashbacking, doing full flashback episodes almost to stuff we've already fucking seen. Like we've seen these things 3 times from different perspectives. It's like, how did this cost you money? If you're going to rehash this stuff with this filler nonsense, how are you justifying the amount of money she spent? And like they put in like a shameless fucking cameos at the end, which makes the last episode, which makes it way worse in my opinion, because it just makes it make less sense, And when she's got pushback about it, like she's done interviews, and when she got pushback about it, she just said, well, it's my show. Was her answer, like, it's my show.
Yeah.
But well, then you're a dickhead. I'm not. Yeah, you have to be respectful to a lore for something that's been around for decades. Like, it's not, you just can't go in and just make your own and decide everything. Everything has to change.
It's all about about her and her stories and her experiences.
And this is built up decades of fans since the 70s. This has been built up fans. You can't go and just retcon decades worth of stuff. This isn't like one movie that came out in the 70s and you go, look, to make it, today we'll just change it a little bit. This is decades of stuff, and she just doesn't give a bollocks because she doesn't have a clue. Like fucking Harry Potter. There's a new Harry Potter show or whatever coming out. Like, let's say I was in charge of the Harry Potter show, and like, I've enjoyed the movies. Haven't read the books, but like, so as far as the lore goes, I wouldn't have a clue apart from what I've seen. But if I was hired to make like a prequel series or something to Harry Potter, and I just made shitloads of changes like outside of the original books and just meant them mean fuck all, people's childhood watch this stuff, now that means look, I just make people absolute like dicks, like fucking Dumbledore is actually a racist fucking pedophile or something. Like just change these like beloved characters, and
Can't do that.
there'd be fucking uproar. There'd be uproar because there's, like you said, there's books, there's everything, there's lore that's there that has to be respected because it's got so many fans, and all you're doing is alienating further the Star Wars fan base who are already hanging on by a thread, and they just keep doing this. If the show doesn't do bad, they give abuse to the fans. They gaslight the fans. The reason the show didn't do well is because of you. It's because you don't like women, or you don't like people from the LGBT community, or you don't like, and it's just this way of it. You attacking the fans. If you don't like it, you're the problem, not the show, is one of the headlines. I think it was from Inverse or something. It's not Star Wars isn't the problem. You are, I think was the headline or something along those lines. But they've done this before. They do this other stuff as well that's being tanked. They just blame the audience on it, and you have to just hold your hands up and go, yeah, we fucking we missed the bar with that one. We'll try harder next time. But just to go, no, blame it on the audience.
We're right.
We'll move on.
You're wrong.
And it's just, I'm sorry to go on a rant about it, but like, I love Star Wars, and I'd imagine, and my knowledge of the lore, it much like the comic book movie we're going to discuss, only is would be probably considered surface level compared to people out there who know it inside out, who've read the books, which are canon as well. So for them to be watching this stuff, it must be fucking heartbreaking to watch these, characters even coming back to life, like the Book of Boba Fett, just bringing them back and all this. It must be so difficult for a die-hard fan to watch this stuff. And I get it, you want to do something new, and that's fine, but just do it with having respect to what came before, which she hasn't done, and it's a shambles of a show. Shambles. Anyway, I just want to think. I feel so much lighter now. I feel better after that.
That's good.
So as we said, we'll move on then to the movie. And Daz is going to take us through that 2024's Deadpool and Wolverine. So Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Cool beans. Yeah. So Deadpool and Wolverine. Holy shit. What we'll do is we'll do our kind of spoiler-free section and then get stuck into heavy spoilers. And again, unfortunately, myself and Phil didn't get a chance to see this. You saw it in IMAX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the theater packed or empty or?
No, it wasn't packed, right? But it was IMAX 3D, and I was wearing these big giant glasses that I have on now, so I wasn't totally comfortable putting glasses on over these glasses so I could watch the fucking movie. But it wasn't full, but there was definitely a reactive crowd. There was to the stuff that was cameos and stuff. There was full, oh my god, shouting kind of stuff. Like people were super excited, and that made it obviously makes it more enjoyable.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's fun.
That's what I was thinking, because I had to see it on you saw it yesterday and Saturday, or today, Saturday. I saw it yesterday during the day at a local cinema. It's the only time I could actually get it. Small little screen. I'm sure it's big to most people, but from an IMAX standpoint, it's fucking tiny. Like, I was up the front, like we would be, and it still seemed like a 100-inch fucking TV screen. But there was me and just one other dude. I was at the front of the cinema, and he was at the fucking right at the back. And straight away I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I wish this was like, we haven't seen a midnight screening in fucking a long time, like pre-COVID days where, a Marvel movie come out, midnight screening, and it's just fucking jam-packed. And even if the movie is mid-tier or fucking whatever, like, there'll be moments that you'll just get that fucking, even whether it's or cheer, or, as you're saying, somebody who just gets a joke that's flown over your head completely. It's just, whatever. So, when I saw that, obviously, I was missing out on the IMAX thing. But so we didn't see it together. So we actually haven't talked about it at all.
No.
Bar one or two kind of the cameos, which we'll get to in the spoiler section. But I'll set the scene first. It's the first Deadpool movie since Deadpool 2 in 2018. And this first movie, obviously, following the unification of Fox and Disney. For anyone who's living under a rock, Disney bought Fox for like $70 billion or something back in 2019. And this is Deadpool's first MCU appearance, essentially the merger of the MCU and the Deadpool Fox universe. And the movie so far is it was tracking really well, and it broke the opening day record for a rated R movie. It made 96 million, and then the weekend projection is 190, which is breaking another record, which is fucking great. Synopsis wise, it's very, very hard to do a synopsis in this. Like, it would just be Deadpool and Wolverine are in it, and they do things. But anyway, Deadpool he's at a transitional point in his life, seemingly kind of left his superhero antics behind him to become a car salesman. He's trying to enjoy his life with his friends when he is abducted by the TVA, and through some crazy antics teams up with a very angry man to save the world, or his world. So yeah, before we kind of just get into it, what are your thoughts on the movie, Phil?
Well, I was kind of worried going in because I said to you before about I'd read some reviews, and it's just more solidified my belief that reviewers these days are just I don't care if you didn't like it, explain why, but just there's people who just some of these people I think didn't see the movie. Like, one of the reviews I read on Rotten Tomatoes was that a lot of the violence is implied. I was like, implied? Like, there's nothing but fucking nonstop fucking heads get chopped off, legs get it's so fucking violent that there's one or two scenes you don't see. Like, fucking for real, like, and I don't know. It just seems to me like sometimes they send people to view these movies that don't have any interest. It would be like our podcast and both of us reviewing fucking Failure to Launch or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It would be fucking torture for us. You know what I mean? And you try to be objective, but it wouldn't be a good experience for you. And I feel that would come out in the review, and that's what I get from a lot of these reviews. So a lot of times I kind of
wrong people going to review the movies. Like we talked about this yesterday or during the week when we were going through those reviews, and some of them saying this movie is obviously made for the terminally online and the geeks who are going to lap it up, and just fucking of course it is. And terminally online, what are you fucking talking about? She's some editor of fucking Vogue or something, really just talking down to who this movie is for. It's not for me, and I didn't like it because I'm above that. And just fuck off, And some of these, as you were saying, you follow up on some of these reviewers, and you were saying one of them gave Madam Web a fucking thumbs up, and Garfield movie a thumbs up, and just going to Garfield these movies just oh my god, what do you like?
Yeah, but she gave Civil War a thumbs down.
Yeah, and have a bee in their bonnet about a specific genre, and basically it's people telling us why not why they don't think it's a good movie. They're telling us why they're better than this movie and why it's not good for personal fucking reasons. And just I read one or two good reviews where they actually objectively and subjectively tear it apart in their own way by using fucking actual proper English and just convey their thoughts in written fucking form about a fucking movie. And you read it and you kind of go, okay, that's, and after seeing the movie, some of those points you kind of go, oh, okay, I can see your point, whether I agree or not. But anyway,
exactly. Yeah, but no. Look, I appreciate the fact that we are reviewing these movies as well, and we take the piss out of them. But the ones we take the piss out of, we will give our star review for you to go and see it if you want. And someone recommends, some we don't. But there's some of the reviews are just fucking shocking. It can be painful to read. But anyway, I was worried going in, thought it was going to be shit. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I don't think it was amazing. I think that it was more a gateway for what's to come. It was a cleanup. It was a cleanup a lot of stuff. It was a passion project for both Hugh Jackman and for Ryan Reynolds. There's so much meta stuff about the two of them in it. There's barely any plot in this movie. There's a bunch of different scenes actually thrown together to the point where, as you said, I texted you saying I pity you having to do the speaking part of this, because how do you map this movie out? It's all over the shop.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it though. The violence is over the top. Most of the humor lands. I think some of this humor doesn't age well. I rewatched Deadpool, and I remember at the time someone saying to me that, oh, it's a bit too zany for me. And I was like, zany? No, it's incredible. What are you talking about? But now when I watch back Deadpool 1, I'm like, yeah, some of the jokes aren't really...
Yeah.
They're not, they're not really fantastic. they kind of don't really stand up. But there's a lot of good ones in this, a lot of zingers. Like I didn't even bother. I took one or two notes, but I was just too many. There was just too many of them. Like, I can only imagine what people who know the stuff, they're probably spotting Easter eggs on every fucking, every cell of the fucking film, But what about yourself? What did you think of the movie?
I think we're on the same board. I think like as an experience movie, I thought it was fucking excellent. Like just being in there going, this is great. Like watching the chemistry between the guys. I think it's incredibly funny. The action is mostly great. The performances are excellent. But as a movie, I think it's pretty good. It's kind of it seems like it's a series of moments and gags, and humor, and in that regard, it's ridiculous amounts of fun to watch. But I'm not actually sure. The sum of its parts outweigh the whole, if you know what I mean. I think I feel like the individual pieces of it are more impressive than the whole. Like, and I can see the reason why. On one side, some people think it's their favorite MCU movie in fucking ages, and I can also see in other ways in what I said earlier on about some reviewers where they just were really disappointed by it in terms of just like plot and story, and I don't think it lived up to. Again, we were talking. This touches on what Gav was saying earlier on in the feedback about some stuff that in those before the review embargo was lifted. You get those out of the theater kind of Twitter things, and it's just people just say a lot of nonsense shit, and people kind of going, "Oh my god, it's completely reset everything. It's changed fucking everything." I'm just holy fuck, and actually went in kind of with that going, "Oh my god, like." Yeah, what is the scope for that? I was just looking forward to a kind of a buddy cop movie between these two characters who offset each other perfectly, the odd couple, so to speak. But I don't think it resets kind of anything. I feel like if this movie didn't happen, like I don't think much changes in anyone's life. I don't think so too much. I mean, there's obviously elements that we'll get into, but I thought. It was just really, really, really funny. But at times, like trying to take notes of this fucking movie. Like I was telling you earlier, like I was just looking back through my notes. And actually, for anyone listening while we're going through this, I said to Phil, I'm going to need a lot of your help going through this because some of my notes, just like one note is just like TVA, room, the TV. I don't know what I'm typing because I was just said, texting something on my phone, but couldn't look away from the screen because I'm going to miss some fucking visual gag somewhere, like the cameos and stuff that you throw at the screen. And even to try and list some of the quips, like the humor hits mostly, like 80% hits really well, but there's so much of it, like where you're still laughing at one thing when another thing just fucking cracks you in the other fucking face. And just like, oh my God. But I thought it was... it was a strange one. Like yesterday, if I reviewed it, I would have been probably far more enthusiastic about it as a whole. But today, I'm more thinking about just individual bits. Going, oh, that was cool. But also kind of going, I wish they had, in terms of like the villain, we won't go into it, but use the time a bit more to service the stories of Wolverine and Deadpool. Their kind of backstories a bit more rather than use that time on a kind of throwaway villain without going too much into it.
People would have seen her on the trailer. Obviously, Cassandra Nova is the villain. They would have seen her on the trailer. I thought she was great, and I thought she was really, really good. And I'm not sure if I've seen her in anything else. But I really, really liked her. I would have loved to see more of her. We'll just do our spoiler free kind of talk through it if you want now.
Go for it.
Which is like, it's just like, it's basically, as you said, it's as people would have seen from the trailer, it's Deadpool basically being, almost employed by the TVA, and he's to save his own world, and you see him there in the trailer holding up his picture. This is my world. And he has to enlist the help of Wolverine, who obviously our Wolverine, for people who've seen Logan, spoiler alert, he dies. So this is a Logan from a different reality in the multiverse, because everything is about the fucking multiverse now. And I love that there's lots of digs at that in the thing, which is great. But as you said, it's hard to nail down an actual plot for it.
Mm.
You know, like it's like they basically go on the mission together to save it. Like I don't know what else, without getting into the spoiler parts of it, because there's so much cameo wise. There's not really a massive amount that we could talk about the actual story, more so than maybe some of the set pieces that were pretty cool.
Yeah, but I guess like let's say something that is unspoilery. I guess like, it was nice to watch a Disney movie that Disney Marvel movie that wasn't or didn't spend 30 minutes setting up 5 other movies in a way. It was like it felt like, even though there's all this like, ooh, what comes next and all that, it's all kind of alluded to, but it's a self-contained movie, even though the plot is just very, very bonkers. And I do love the fact that it is a different Wolverine, because Logan is so close to both our hearts in terms of the perfect send-off for one of the best characters in cinematic history. That movie just was like astonishing in terms of the weight that character was given, and how emotional it was, and how, like, saying goodbye to kind of multiple characters actually in that movie. But that this didn't, even though, you know, the beginning of the movie there's jokes about like, oh, you thought we weren't going to, you know, mess with that Logan's or desecrate that movie or whatever, but they don't essentially that much, except for Daphne Keane when she comes in. Like, I like seeing her on screen again. At points it's like that cuts a bit too close to the bone in terms of, like, I've seen Wolverine and her relationship come to such a beautiful end, and there is a lovely scene in this movie between her and the new Wolverine. But it didn't tread too much on Logan, the fact that it is a new Wolverine, and it gave Hugh Jackman more a different, not so much a different angle. He's always an angry fucking menacing fucker, but it gave him a different kind of backstory to chew on in terms of you know, his anger and his hatred and self-loathing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like, I think apparently Hugh Jackman, before he went on, he contacted James Mangold and said it, explained to him what it was about, and that, look, this interacts in no way with Logan or Logan Noir, or whatever name it's called in your region. That it in no way interacts with that. He's like, it's not going to take away from it. You know, it's nothing to do with it. Which is cool. You know, let that, you know, stuff, Earth 616 or whatever we're from, you know, let that be finished.
James Mangold saw it and he said it's an abomination. But that's because he's close to fucking Logan. Obviously, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I know. I just meant out of respect. He did contact him and say
absolutely.
to him. Yeah. I mean, because you look at what he did with the character, and, you know, how he didn't. The script is taken from comics, but like the tone and everything and the way it ended was so perfect that I'm sure if I saw, I would be pissed off as well. But I mean, it's not, you know, granted it's the same actor and stuff. It's you know, the character is going to be there forever, you know, just because they're going to be remakes of such an iconic character, where superhero movies will never die as much as some people may want them to. The character is going to be recast as someone else, and he's going to be just as pissed off.
Yeah, people had said that online, that they were annoyed that he's been brought back again, and it's just, you know, because they got such a great send off in Logan. But I think Hugh Jackman is, what is he, fucking almost 60 now or something? Like, he's going to be, he might be in another movie, or he might be on the periphery or used sparingly. I imagine with Marvel moving ahead with the X-Men, they're going to obviously just recast it completely, and just, I don't see Hugh Jackman coming back into the fold in, you know, full time or anything like that. But it's just nice to see him again on screen, and just, yeah. So this, like, there's a good bit of heart, I think, to this movie. Most of it comes from Hugh Jackman, definitely, and his knowledge of the character, and his just there's a scene in the car where he just has a little tirade, goes off on Ryan Reynolds. It's astonishing. Just like it's like one of the highlights of the movie. But yeah, it's good. I'm delighted to see it's doing very well going forward. I mean, it's everyone's going to see the fucking movie. Like,
yeah, and it's one, like, I mean, before we get into the spoiler part, like, it is one, I think, one I recommend just for fun's sake. Like, whether you're into the previous thing, know anything about the lore, the scenes, there's so many scenes that it is just the two of them, and their chemistry, you know, it just really goes to show what good mates they are off the screen. It flows through it. their interactions, their jokes, their digs. I think I read something like that Ryan Reynolds wasn't allowed to ad lib for this one because the writer's strike or something was going on. He wasn't allowed to do his things. Yeah. But there's like the writing and stuff is fairly consistent. I found from his character across the three movies, but man, it's just a lot of fun. There's not really a whole lot we can say in the spoiler-free section, or even in the spoilered section. Gives you kind of a story other than Wade's hired by the TVA to kind of
we're just going to list the things that happen.
Yeah, so like we don't, because there's multiple cameos and we're going to be jumping in and out. It's probably best to close off the thing with just maybe a star rating and then move on to it, if that's all right. What you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm gonna go 3.5. I don't think it's because just and it's because it's pure fun. I just don't think it's amazing. Like, I love the first two Deadpool movies, and it's more of a filler thing. I think they'll use this to reset a lot of stuff, because they leave it so kind of open that I think they'll kind of go, right, because Deadpool did this, now we're we don't have to deal with multiverse fucking stuff anymore. We're canceling it all. There's no more fucking whatever. I'm sure they can change stuff and just pretend that this was the source of it. There's not enough of it. It's like actual story wise to make me go, it's a 4-star or 4.5-star movie. For me, it's a very solid 3.5.
Yeah, same for me. Solid 3.5. I think it's just the lack of a coherent and streamlined plot that takes away from being a 4-star or above. I think if you're looking for a more like streamlined story and something that brings the MCU back on track and all that, like, this isn't that movie, and I don't think it should have been kind of marketed as that. It's a collection of wonderful moments, truly wonderful moments, really great action. The performances, there's just so much. Even though it's a 3.5-star film, there's so many moments. There's so much stuff. There's probably like 20 moments to just go and watch it for. It's an assault on the senses. Like,
it
really fucking is.
Which is wild for the guy who said that the action was implied and the killings were implied. I can only remember one, which we'll talk about when we get into the spoiler part. I can literally remember one part that they cut off before you see the killing happen. But apart from that, no, there's fucking people, heads getting fucking chopped off, bones stabbed through other people's heads. Like, it's mental. Yeah. But yeah, look, recommended, 100% recommended.
Yeah, absolutely. So so now you've been warned. We get into our spoiler section. Start the spoiler section with Blade. I was dying to fucking text you straight away. It's like the one moment. We'll get into the kind of trying to put some coherent timeline.
We'll just talk about our favorite scenes.
Yeah. But anyway, Wesley Snipes is in this fucking movie. Holy shit!
And we only mentioned it. And we only mentioned it, didn't we? Recently, when we'd watched the trailer, we had said that there was a dude in the background that kind of looked a bit like him. We wondered, was that the guy for the TV show?
Yeah.
Because of the animosity that there was between the two of them, and they even make a joke about that as well. But yeah, man, I was fucking over the moon to say that. Some motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill.
It has the line, and just the fact that, like, I thought they were going to make a joke or something where it cut to him and it's obviously his fucking stunt double or something delivering one of the lines. That would have been a bit too meta. But he was just fucking. It's crazy, like that. Just like we could go on to like the amount of cameos is fantastic, but like straight away, that Blade one, the fact that it's that he even, like, Jesus Christ, he's just getting overloaded here. Just the fact that this movie doesn't skimp at all on bashing MCU and the state MCU is in. It's literally from the script. He said, like, oh, it's Marvel, miss after miss after miss. And the fact that it wasn't watered down at all, which some people thought maybe, when it was under 20th Century Fox, they could take all the digs they want. But when Kevin Feige is making this and producing this, it's I was delighted the amount of bashing and self-deprecating humor that was delivered. And especially like Blade, when he's just like, there's only one Blade and there only ever will be one Blade. And the devil looks and kind of winks at the camera, and you're just going, because of all the shit that's in the fucking news that we keep talking about Blade. Is it going to be made, production hell for 5 years?
Sure, even when he says it to Wolverine, like when he goes, "Welcome to the MCU" or whatever, and he goes, "But look, to be honest, you're joining at a bit of a low point." Just because it's just spot on the money. Like it's there's so many jokes in it like that are, as you said, self-deprecating, are just absolute digs. Like he literally grabs the camera at one point to say "fuck you, Fox." Like it's just,
I'm heading to Disneyland.
But that's I think this is actually the first R-rated movie under the Disney name.
Yeah.
Like they have other studios obviously under Disney, they would normally release their R-rated, but to actually come out under the Disney name, Disney Marvel as as an R-rated movie, I think it's their first one.
Yeah, and it's just like from the start, I guess, like when we kind of we're trying to like set up a little bit when like the TV. The one thing that not annoyed me is TVA. I kind of understand what they are from seeing the trailer of Loki. Kind of get like,
it's a fair point. Like
there's something about, I didn't know that there was anything about timelines. I thought they were just monitoring anyone who was, jumping through time or messing with the time. I didn't realize that they're actually they're aware of and watching all these different fucking timelines. And it's the fact that when they essentially capture Deadpool to tell him that this is the anchor of the story, to use their term, where Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Logan, when he died, he was the anchor for Deadpool's universe, and that made it unstable, and it was going to fucking implode or be destroyed. And I think they said in a few thousand years, so they just said, "Oh, we're just going to wrap it up now and just destroy it in the next 36 hours." Just like, I don't know why you're doing that. Is that something from the TV show? Are they bad?
In the TV
are
show,
they good? The TVA? What the fuck's the story with that?
No, they're supposedly good, but there's the thing in the TV show is that there's you see that there's almost like it's infinite timelines. So when there's these timelines that are getting cut off and realities that are getting destroyed, there's loads of them getting destroyed at once. It's not really a massive problem, like if with the grand scheme of things, if a couple of stars disappear from the sky, no one's going to really notice, and it's just, that's what they make it out as, like each one is only a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
But that's our universe, and for him. But the thing is, I don't recall anchor beings being mentioned in these realities before, and like why is it Wolverine? Like, because in our Earth 616, in that whole thing, that includes Thanos and all these aliens from other planets and all the rest of it. So why is it the one dude on planet Earth that's Wolverine that happens to be the anchor person? Like and like he was gonna die eventually anyway of just being old. Like it wasn't really explained enough.
It's a means to an end to get this story happening, but it just seemed very convoluted in terms of, obviously we need these guys to team up. Let's find a way to get them to team up. But and using the TVA, it obviously makes sense. Wolverine's going to be taken from a different timeline. That makes sense. But I was uber confused at this point, just like what the fuck is going on.
I actually thought, just to go to the very opening credits, like I thought that, or the opening scene, they've done this with each of the movies. They've done, they get you a bit from the movie, and then we go, but I'll have to take you back to X amount of weeks earlier, when they showed him at the grave where Logan was buried, and he's like, people think he's dead. Of course he's not. What do you think regenerative powers are? And I was like, no. It's not the same, Logan. You can't. I was like, you can't. And then, of course, he digs down and it's just the skeleton that's left. Like,
that's hilarious.
He just starts going off with, fuck's sake, fucking fuck. But that whole scene probably could have done it without some of the dancing, but it's too
it's
Backstreet Boys. NSYNC, bye. And it's just like he's just doing the dancing, and while he's doing that, he's just killing all these dudes with bits of the fucking Wolverine's adamantium skeleton. Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
It's excellent. So good. Deadpool movies do credit sequences pretty fucking fantastic. But then there was another fucking question straight away where I was just going, note was like, ask Phil about 2018. But they kind of go, right, and they skip back to 2018. They say like the sacred timeline. And that, what the fuck is the sacred timeline? What's sacred timeline? And what's the one where Deadpool is not in the timeline where Thanos and the Avengers are, is he? Or he is?
No, he is. No, wait. No, he's in. fuck's sake, this is so fucking confusing.
Mm.
He's in. No. Yeah, no, he is. Earth 616 is the one at the start. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because that's our one. He goes in to have that meeting at the start near the start with Happy Hogan. So he is. He's from our universe.
And that's where they do mention, or where he's saying like, this is the kind of the setup for Deadpool wanting to matter, and the fact that he when we see him, like that he went back to just being a car salesman and trying to just hang out with his friends and just be friends with Vanessa, who's now got a boyfriend at work and all this kind of stuff. But when we see this flashback that he wanted to be part of the Avengers, and he said he wants to matter and all that stuff, and it's just I've never really seen that at all. You're just kind of told this is to set it up, and again that's where I kind of go. The setup for this is very kind of quick for this character. This is what he's always wanted to matter. So now the plot is happening. The same with Wolverine later on, when you're just going, this is what happened in his world, and now he's brought into this world for redemption or whatever. And you're just going, like you're just telling me everything. You're not showing me anything. You're just telling me.
It was too quick. Like it was, and off brand for what we've seen from the original, the first two movies of Deadpool. Now we've got him, this dude who's just completely changed. His attitude has changed. He wants to matter. He's broken up with Vanessa. We get it's like just small little glance of that, even throughout the movie, what happened between them. It's
all that cast.
It wasn't enough there for the reason that they broke up or anything. Yeah, there really is. Now I get it. It's supposed to be the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but it's just, you need a bit more explanation to say why he's at his end or why he's doing what he's doing. But yeah, like, I mean, it's straight off. It goes, as you said, it goes from that fucking mental carnage at the start to him sitting in front of Happy Hogan saying, I want to matter, I want to be in the Avengers. And obviously, that doesn't happen. But when he goes to have, it basically shows him, doesn't he? He works for he's like a car salesman or a used car salesman or something.
And then when they get the TVA grab him, and when they grab him, they're kind of, their whole thing is like, this is the thing where they tell him that we're going to destroy your fucking world, but do you want to come with us and be an Avenger and be this and matter and all this kind of stuff? And it's a bit like, well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to do that. And why would you think that he'd be okay with just destroying his world because he wants to matter and be a proper superhero? It's just like, didn't he kind of save the world or whatever in the Deadpool movies? He's pretty not important, but whatever. But there's a sequence where he gets his new outfit, which fucking, it's just like there's such juvenile humor. There's so many dick and fucking ass jokes in this movie. You lose track of it, but it's
the tailor
is
adjusting and grabbing the crotch and stuff, and he's like, suit fits great. Your tailor is a predator.
Your tailor's a predator, but if you get the shot, it's just like, the guns and holster, collar, this, blah blah, crotch shot, and then the ass shot, and somebody patting him on the ass, pat on the crotch. It's just, it's fucking brilliant. But but
I think this is where it's really meta here as well, because we started off, we see him in his like a little bit of him talking to the camera, but most of it's him with his best friends and all that kind of stuff. And when he gets to the TVA, that's when we start getting pretty heavily meta, because he's been shown the timeline of fucking Thanos and all that kind of stuff, and he's like, oh my god, Cap, it's da-da-da. And he's watching all this on these screens. Then he makes a thing about, am I going to be in the MCU? Oh my god, I'm Marvel Jesus. And that's when he goes on and literally grabs the camera to be like, fucking fuck you, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland. And just, he's officially in the MCU now. And it's real super meta and continues that way for so much of it. It's the other characters kind of don't really acknowledge it at all. It's almost like, I know he does the fourth wall break where he talks to the audience, but when he's talking to someone, talking about they should be all going, what Marvel?
What are you talking?
Universe? Who the fuck is Kevin Feige? And it's just, they completely ignore the fact that this is happening, but he is having the conversation. And I suppose all of that's to represent because in the comic books, I think he's schizophrenic. So I think all of it is just to kind of,
is
just to feed into that
his fucking head. Is this an internal kind of monologue? But then he, after getting his new outfit and all this kind of stuff, he breaks fucking, what's it? The guy's name, what's his name? Michael
Paradox.
Paradox, yeah. I love him.
I
in
thought that he
Succession,
was in,
but I didn't think he was that. Is he in the TV show?
No, he's not, and that's the thing I was going to say. I know the character of Mr. Paradox, and I thought that because Kate Dickie played a character in the TV show,
Mm.
and I thought that was they were doing a female version of it because I'm pretty sure even the name was similar. It was like her name was Docs or something like that,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that must be the Mr. Paradox character. But obviously there must be a fucking bunch of them or something. I don't know. Someone comment and let us know. But like I don't know. I found him just to be kind of more annoying, and why were there other people around?
He was a miss for me.
And other people around could hear his plan. Like they hear,
yeah.
But if people around could hear his plan, like, I mean, their TVA are all supposed to be working together to keep the fucking multiverse together. And yet he's yapping away about him fucking doing this, that, and the other. I was like, why has nobody turned this prick in? Just, I don't know. Yeah.
That didn't really make sense for me. But then we get, like, he breaks his nose, grabs his gizmo, and heads off to try and, his master plan is to find another Wolverine, and we get glorious montage of him trying to find different Wolverines. And the first one he goes to is like mini Logan, like the kind of the comic accurate, comic accurate, tiny, stocky,
5'3". Yeah, just when he jumps down off the bar
standing up, it's fucking straight away. You're just going, yeah, here we go. Like, that was fucking hilarious. And we get like there's various just Age of Apocalypse, the one armed fucking Logan. That was cool. Then we got Henry Cavill.
Cavalrine, or whatever they call him.
It was excellent. But he eventually, just kind of get to it. He gets to a bar and he comes across this washed up Wolverine who's in a fucking bad way, and this stuff plays so well. It's the part in the trailer that I fucking loved in that first trailer when we started getting the proper kind of dialogue. He's just like, if you don't want to breathe through a bullet hole in your fucking face, you're coming up with this kind of stuff. And he's just like, fuck off. And, straight away they just, it's protagonist, antagonist almost. It's just fucking great chemistry between them. And then he makes, before he pretty much trying to grab him and drag him away, he makes a comment. I don't know if he talks about the yellow costume or he just sees something underneath his collar.
He peeks under and he goes, oh yeah,
nice one.
He's wearing an outfit. Yeah.
So that's when he goes back to TVA with this Wolverine to, his master plan. Look, I've got Wolverine from another world. He's going to be my anchor and stuff. And obviously he's told that's not how it fucking works or whatever. So they are banished to the wasteland. And they specifically reference it like as a Mad Max ripoff, which this wasteland called the Void, where it's the one from the trailer where I remember just wondering in the trailer where are they? Where there's the 20th Century Fox destroyed fucking logo in the background.
Yeah,
and then they have the fight, which is in the trailer, Wolverine and Deadpool, and a beautiful thing about there's numerous times that they have fisticuffs in this movie, or a few times, and the fact that they both have blades and can regenerate just makes for like just dial the fucking violence, the implied violence up to 11. It's just they beat the living fucking snot out of each other, and it's vicious. There's lots of adamantium claws to crotches and skulls, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, his katanas are made of adamantium. The tailor gives him so he's literally properly able to stab into fucking Wolverine. And, it's so cool.
It's just glorious. But there's the action in this movie I thought was really good for the most part. Like this scene is great. It's very much like the action in the first two Deadpool movies, where there's really nice choreography, really well chosen slow motion moments. Take note, Zack Snyder, slow motion to actually let the audience have a look at something that's pretty fucking cool, not somebody just walking. But yeah, really fucking good. But we'll get to the kind of fight with Blade and the rest of them later on. But that one later on is filmed completely fucking different to the rest of them. It's all kind of shaky camera, and we'll get to that fucking that wrecked my head. But this fight scene was fantastic, and we very quickly get introduced to a first of our cameos, which is a hidden figure, like, ooh, who's it going to be? Yeah. And then when you see it takes off the hood, and it's just like, oh, it's fucking Chris Evans.
Did the other guy behind you start shouting?
Well,
Did the two of you shout them? Just
it's fucking
run
Captain
back and give him a
America.
high five.
Yeah, but it was,
Oh, there was screams in my one. Yeah,
but straight away you're
screams in my
just like,
place
oh,
for it. Like,
fucking cool. And it caught me by surprise because straight away you're just going, oh, fucking hell, Cap's back. Steve Rogers. And even Deadpool's
yeah,
like saying to Wolverine, oh, wait, he's going to say it.
he's
Avengers
gonna say
Assemble,
it.
Avengers Assemble. And he just goes, flame on, and takes off. And straight away it's just like, oh, that is brilliant. Because Chris Evans
Absolutely amazing.
was it 10 years ago or fucking, no,
Longer than that.
2005, 5 or 6, whatever.
Yeah, they were.
Played
Yeah.
the Human Torch in the ill-fated first Fantastic Four movie before
and the
Chris
second
Evans. And the second
And
one.
Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Rise of the Silver Surfer as well. So yeah, that caught me by surprise, and that was
amazing.
That's one of those moments I wish I was in a fucking packed out IMAX theater and everyone going, "Fucking, that is brilliant!"
But straight away we get other cameos because the guys like Mad Max, the Road Warriors essentially show up, and one of them is Pyro from 2 X-Men movies he did. Was it X2 and The Last Stand?
And Last Stand, yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
And just when he's up in the air, Johnny Storm, and he's going, you're not going to like what comes next, and he's fucking firing fireballs down, and Pyro, who of course controls fire, is just like holding his hand up and just fucking soaking it all up, and then he just takes all of it, and then fucking Chris Evans just falling and just walloping his head and his back and everything. It's fucking brilliant.
Good. Chris Evans is absolutely having a fucking ball in this movie, 100%.
Yeah, no more. Doesn't have to be a goody guy. He's fucking
it's great.
Yeah, especially the stinger. We can go to the stinger.
Yeah. That's fucking class. We get like Sabretooth from the trailer pops up, and he's around for about fucking 6 seconds. They don't have a fight. Wolverine just decapitates him straight away and just going, fucking hey. I just like the way that happened, because in the trailer you're just going, oh, is that going to be a renewed battle or whatever? No, off at your head, and just lops his fucking head off. And just going, oh, cool. And then I think we see Toad as well at this point. Ray Park, I think, is in the background of one of the scenes. Just like, fucking cool. And that's the moment where I was kind of very aware that this is more of a love letter to the 20th Century Fox Marvel Universe and showcasing them rather than bringing MCU characters into Deadpool. It was more just Deadpool just looking back at the Fox kind of alumni and kind of,
100%.
Yeah, which is maybe nice way of doing it.
Maybe that's what upset some people. Maybe they were thinking of cameos from they're going to see from their favorite MCU heroes, and that's it melding together.
Exactly, like when you see Happy Hogan earlier on and seeing John Favreau, straight away you're thinking, is Tony fucking Stark going to come out? Like, is Downey Jr. in this fucking movie? And when he didn't, straight away I was kind of going, okay, we're not going down that route. Until I saw Chris Evans, I'm just going, wow, these people are fucking toying with me. Like, what's happening here? But that the Mad Max wasteland area, like, very quickly shifts this movie into the next kind of 60-70 minutes of cameo madness. But before that, we're introduced to the villain of the movie, villainess villain, Cassandra Nova, who we learn is Charles Xavier's clone or twin. Twin.
Twin. They were in the womb together, and I think she said he strangled him with an umbilical cord, but I thought it was in the comics it might have been he used psychic energy or something to kill her, and she ends up growing on I think it's like a sewer wall or something like that, and all her thing. I don't know the full background of her, but she ends up as usual. Fucking, she takes over, or he's. I'm not going to go into it because I know a few of the storylines. I'll be here all day. But I thought she was great, man. I thought she was just menacing while just fucking looking absolutely awesome. I think that was her whole base. Obviously, is that Ant-Man, which is from another comic book version. It was from another one, and the introduction to her is just so they think it's. They see the yoke open and they just see the wheelchair coming out of the steam or the smoke, and he thinks it's going to be Professor Xavier, and she just comes out and she's like, "No, just let the chair lying around."
Just like, you're fucking toying with us, goddammit. Yeah. But there's a killer line as well. It's just like, oh, Paul Rudd finally aged. It's like, this guy still looks like he's 20 fucking 6. He's like 45. But yeah, then in a lovely turn of events, Deadpool almost like pranks Chris into getting skinned alive and killed by Casanova. Or sorry, by Cassandra Nova. Casanova.
That's gonna happen a few times.
Yeah. And I was just like, I was looking forward to Human Torch being around a little bit longer, but that was fantastic. But then,
but he goes off on one like this to tie in with the stinger, like because he goes off and he has this exact like word for word. He said that you were this fucking dickheaded fucking da da da, and he goes off in a very very something that like he's like, I would never say even words like that. Why? And then Wolverine starts saying to him, "Oh, you got him killed. What are you saying this stuff for? You got him killed." But yeah.
That's fucking great.
Leave it at that till we get
we get to the stinger. But her like she's got a range of superpowers, I imagine. But like her hand inside the head to kind of read your thoughts, fucking superpower. Like visually, it was one of the most scariest things I've ever seen in my fucking life, and it was some of the best visual effects I've seen in quite some time. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's literally her hand going inside someone's head, and then you see fingers coming out from the inside. It's just like fucking hell. That's much better than just James McAvoy just putting his fingers to his temple and going, I can read your thoughts. And it's like, I'm gonna fucking stick my hand inside your head. Just like, yes, fucking please.
It was like Heroes. They never fully explained how in the first in Heroes, the TV show, because we knew that your man Peter could just touch people and get their powers, but they'd never the guy that they're after the whole time, it's Siler or whatever his name is, and we don't know how he kills people to take their power. And like in one episode, you see he actually has a cheerleader down and her fucking head is open and he's at her brain. Apparently that's how it's hands inside the head to get the power. So it's like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
how do you even figure out that's your power? Like,
fucking hell, that's But anyway, after I'm just gonna skip on. They escape from Cassandra anyway, and they come across. We get introduced to something that I thought got way too much screen time, and that is Dogpool and slow-mo intros to Dogpool. It's just like, I get it. It's a dog dressed as in Deadpool costume, and it's small. I don't know the fucking make a dog, the fucking breed of dog. But it's a small little tiny dog who's a large fucking tongue.
It's the ugliest dog in the world, isn't it? It was voted like ugliest dog in the world or something like that. But it's like
horrific thing, and that's great. It plays well once, but it comes back a few times during the movie, which is. But that scene does play with the lady in red in the background, which is fucking brilliant.
and it's funny. But the thing is, like, I could have done without the Deadpool core at all. Like, I mean, obviously, it's great so you could have the cameos and stuff in it, which we'll discuss when I haven't come across it. But I could have done without. I don't think they were really necessary. I know they're saying they were all, there's so many Deadpools that have been banished down to this void and stuff. But I think you could have gotten away with not having the Deadpool core in it.
Yeah, like I don't read Deadpool comics. I'm not really an avid. I don't have a lot of knowledge about the Deadpool core. I just know from images and here and there. But obviously, Deadpool movie, and there's a lot of people are just going to be screaming their fucking heads off watching this kind of
and
stuff.
The fight scenes are fucking.
The fight scene is
real,
fantastic later on, but that could have been a fight. I don't think you need them in the movie just to do that fight scene, or just to it doesn't really make sense. And we do kind of later on, like they kind of arrive, there's a fight scene, and then after the fight scene they can all kind of regenerate, and then we don't really see them again. They just kind of vanish from the story, from the final act. Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, what was the name of the other Deadpool? The one that actually we find out doesn't regenerate, but it's
nice pool,
nice pool, yeah. Which Ryan Reynolds with like a top knot ponytail and just like the campiest, most beautiful Deadpool. It's just
he's like, why don't you wear a mask? And he's like points at his face, like,
guys, seriously, what? Yeah, I don't think so. They fuck off in his Honda. Just another brilliant thing. You just got a Honda fucking car that I fly around in. And then, look, we're going to get to the. I don't know how they get to the car where they're both sitting in the car. Or does he leave them? He leaves them. The nice Deadpool leaves them.
Yeah. He gives them the car.
Gives him the car. Yeah, and they just fuck off in the car. That's it. Yeah, he doesn't go with them. So they get to the car scene. This is fucking fantastic. It's in kind of two parts. They end up having kind of a heated exchange with each other. Deadpool's just fucking going off on his purpose and all this stuff, and he has told Wolverine, that there is that the TVA can fix his timeline too, because we find out that but we find out later
what he's done.
Yeah, we don't know what he's done, but
we know that everybody hates him. He's not welcome
he's
anywhere.
Hated, and he let people down, and he's just like he's no fucking hero in his world. But at this point, he just fucking lashes out at Deadpool and just fucking tears him a new fucking asshole. And it's just a vicious tirade about no wonder nobody fucking likes you. You're this and you're that. You're wisecracks and blah blah. You're never gonna matter. You piece of shit. And it's fucking vicious, and it's just delivered with absolute. Like, you believe Hugh Jackman hates Ryan Reynolds. It's just like, I fucking hate you. You know what I mean? It's like when Jim Carrey talks about meeting Tommy Lee Jones at a dinner or something while they were filming Batman Forever, and he's just like, hey, how are you? Just how are things? And Tommy Lee Jones just looks at him just like, I hate you. I hate you. Your buffoonery. Leave. And you're like, okay, Tommy, right? So they were best of mates, and he famously just told him, go fuck yourself. I hate you. You're a clown. Like,
damn.
Yeah, it's just like, holy shit. I don't know whether to respect him or hate him after that, but this scene, yeah, it's just like, you'd never believe that they're the best of friends, because it's so vicious, and that's Hugh Jackman tapping again into something even darker. Like, we've always seen his Wolverine as just like, there's a lot of regret and hate and this and that, whatever, but not to this level where we find out what happened to him later. But it's a real, just like, fuck off, man. Just fuck off. He's such an angry man. And it's fucking brilliant. And then what follows is an astonishing close quarters fight between two guys who regenerate with fucking blades inside a Honda. And they just beat the living snot out of each other for about fucking 3 minutes. And the choreography is stellar. It's just, it's so fucking good. And it's shot so well. Just to shoot something inside a car like that, it's just like, how long did it? Must have spent weeks at it. I just loved this whole scene.
Yeah, it was a really cool scene. Yeah, it was just a car in the middle of the woods, basically, and the two of them just beating the shit out of each other. It's class. And then I think they just someone comes along and gets the car and drives with the two of them
they're
passed out
knocked
after a massive fight.
Then they get taken to the lair, and
in
walks.
Here's a lot of cameos.
Where's the cameos? The music starts like, whoa, and straight in. It's fucking Elektra, and you're going, holy shit! Here we're going this way. Fucking hell! And straight away, I was started thinking, like, oh my god, is Ben Affleck in this fucking movie? Is he coming next?
Yeah.
And for it not to be Ben Affleck, you would think you would be disappointed. But when Wesley Snipes stepped through, I didn't yelp because it was just me and some other dude. It would have been weird.
You might see him down the town. Like,
yeah, we actually.
There's your man who was yelping.
We kind of saw each other in the toilet later on. It's a really small toilet beside each other in cubicle. Just like it's just the weirdest. Just like a date or something. And when he got out, he was in the.
You're going to be seeing him all the time now.
Yeah, exactly. See him in fucking Central. Like, hey man, remember me? But yeah, it was fantastic. Wesley Snipes comes through, and it's. I just couldn't believe that they got him, that he agreed to do it. There's so many fucking permutations to him, and the fact that, the new Blade movie and all this, and it's just like, what? I thought that was absolutely fucking spectacular. But then we get Channing Tatum as fucking Gambit, and it's just like, I just said, oh my god.
The jokes around that were amazing. I was waiting for him to open his mouth.
The second best thing in the movie after the car scene was Channing Tatum doing it, and we slagged the shit out of him in fucking Rebel Moon for his fucking crazy accent. It was like Scottish, fucking Northern Irish. But in this, it's just like, is he fucking Jamaican? Is he French? But the joke was just like, Ryan or Deadpool goes, who's your dialect coach?
Who's your dialect coach?
And I laughed out loud at that point.
Oh man, I was pissed with myself because he kept he's trying to nail the Cajun accent, and like it's all over the place purposely as well, you know. But some of the stuff he's saying, he can't even understand them. It's just
I don't understand what you're saying. And he's just having a laugh.
I think, it's like I think what Gambit is trying to say is, well, I assume so anyway. I haven't a fucking clue what he's saying. Like, it's brilliant. But it's such a pity that we never got like a, because I know there was Gambit, but like an actual Gambit movie rather than just, you know, like Remy LeBeau and that shitty Wolverine movie. Because
that Gambit thing was like I think he signed on about 10 years ago. At one point, it was rumored for ages, and then he officially kind of signed on to the movie, and then it went fucking nowhere. But it's nice to kind of see.
See the lit up staff, the lit up cards, and
seeing what that character can actually do. Because, you know, if you're not really into comic books, and or even if you are, and you just see, you know, if you're kind of as we're saying, surface level, looking at some of the comic books with him in it, and it's just playing cards, and just going, the fuck is that? Like, you're good at throwing playing cards, and it's like, no, there's all energy fucking shit. And it's just cool seeing what that could have been, with a nice icing flavor on top of absolutely fucking turn it up to 11 on the fucking, what is he fucking saying? Like, fair play, Channel Tatum. He's just fucking, because he went for it. Like, it's fucking brilliant. He looks he just looks cool. Like, he looks fucking brilliant. But yeah, that's the only cameos we got now. Is there anyone else in that fucking scene?
No, because then he's like, she said, someone, whoever brought you here, or whoever, whose plan is this. So, and then Laura
Definitely
walks down, X-23. Yeah. And they kind of have he wants to get them to help him. He's like, look, we're going to take down Cassandra Nova. And they're like, nobody's gotten in there before. And they're like, we were in the base and we escaped. Because when they were taken into the base the first time, they managed to get away using, they managed to get away using like the leg of an old sentinel that was lying there, and Hugh Jackman hits it and they rock it off. But like, he's like, let's get together and have a team, and they're all on board apart from Wolverine, who's just getting hammered. He's just drinking all Channing Tatum's booze. And just getting pissed. He's no interest. I think that this is when you kind of have that heart-to-heart moment chat you mentioned. Fireside chat with Lord. It's just
so nice where they. But it's, I don't know if it's in this. I think it's the end of the scene when she has that line, or he's just like, I'm the wrong guy. I'm the wrong guy. And she's like, you were always the wrong guy. Just like, what a fight. It's just like, that's really good writing in these sequences, or in these scenes. But he starts to explain the backstory to her at the campfire. And she's like, you don't have to explain it. He says, no, I need to say this. And this is fucking Hugh Jackman on fucking like steroids acting wise. It's just incredible. And he tells him how he let down the X-Men, and he was there's a bit to this where you're kind of going, could you have changed like the outcome of this particular scenario, where apparently like humans massacred the fucking X-Men or whatever like that, and he was off in a bar somewhere or something, just like, would you have made a difference or whatever? Like, I understand the anger and everything behind it, but again, it's just like, I'd love to have seen what that looks like, because you're kind of going, how pivotal. I know you're really important and you're cool, you got claws and all this stuff, but how important were you to could you have stopped the massacre of the X-Men or whatever? But he's obviously just in a real dark place because of it, and that's when she's saying that I'm the wrong guy for this, and just like, you were always the wrong guy. And then we get the kind of they arrive in the fucking Honda to
battered Honda, the whole lot of them. It's
Cassandra's place, and they all hop out in slow mo of the fucking Honda, and it's like fucking brilliant or whatever. And then the fucking boot opens and fucking Wolverine steps out, and you're just like, yes, fucking please. And let's talk about the suit, because I
love the suit. I love the suit. Love the yellow suit. That looks absolute business.
Amazing.
And it looks great. And like I think about it is though, as cool as it was to see Elektra fighting and to see Blade and all the rest of it, I wasn't mad at this action scene. There was too much going on.
This is the one that I alluded to.
Like you see.
It's so handheld, it's so shaky, and it's just like, show where the cool. I want to see Wesley Snipes. Obviously, look, they probably had these guys for fucking day. Maybe the choreography obviously is. They didn't have weeks to. But the
base isn't big enough, like, because they show that if you've seen the trailer, you see the base's whole perimeter is the width of Ant-Man's arms, and his hands close behind it. So it's only this finite space that could only fit a couple of cars in, because we see that at the start. Only the cars just get in, or just barely fit inside. Yet we've got like tons of bad guys all fighting, a bunch of whatever fucking 6 or 7 of the good guys, and there's just so much in such an enclosed space, and it's very difficult to kind of follow what's going on, and there's not enough time spent with each character. And this is the only implied one I saw, is when they want to get Juggernaut's helmet, because they're like, okay, we can put that on her head and that'll stop her, because she's already destroyed the Magneto helmet we have here when she killed Magneto. So we'll fucking put that helmet on her. And so we see X-23 diving towards Wolverine, or diving towards Juggernaut's head, and then it just cuts. We don't actually get to see her chopping the head off.
I guess,
which is weird, because we've already seen her chop his at his ankles. She fucking slices him. You see him falling over and his ankles ripping apart and shit. Like, if you can show that, you can show his head.
We've already seen Sabretooth's head been lopped off his fucking... It's just like anything around ankles and slicing. I remember in Pet Cemetery back in the day, when it was just like one of those scenes where somebody sits down and the fucking... Someone comes out with... the kid comes out with a knife, and just slices the back of the fucking ankle. And, oh, Christ almighty. Turned it off after that. But, yeah, we get a... so that was the whole plan. Get Juggernaut's helmet and stick it on her so she can't get into anyone's mind. And what did you make about her... well, this is not so much her demise, but this scene where they kind of trap her and they get the helmet on her.
Yeah, it was actually... I like the scene that... Well, because how they get her is... She gets inside Wolverine's head. She throws Wade to one side. She gets inside Wolverine's head. And we see him on his knees, and you can see what he hears inside his head. It's just all these voices of all the people that he's killed. It's kind of him like kneeling in like this field, and there's all these pillars representing graves or whatever it is. And she's able to go, I can take the pain away. I can just go and she does and takes the voices away. You see the relief inside his head and stuff that he's peace, because that's all he wants. But then obviously Deadpool puts the thing, but he says something along the lines of like, no, I've trapped you, or I've got you. No, I've got you, or something she says, and he goes, no, I've got you. So how can you see? How did you know? You're inside your head in this thing where she's got you trapped. How do you know that Deadpool's got the fucking thing on her head? I don't know why it didn't. That's not really explained.
No.
But yeah, Deadpool basically jams a helmet on her. So now she's no longer impervious to bullets, and fucking she can't control shit with her mind and all the rest of it. And they're arguing over whether they're going to kill her or not. And then fucking Pyro just comes in and just lays a bunch of bullets into her, because he's been working for the TVA. The bad guy from the TVA.
But this is a part where I think we get introduced to this Time Ripper thing again. Is this thing in the
I don't
TV
know.
show
I
or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't remember a Time Ripper mentioned in it, but it's unless that... No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it again.
But anyway, because who gets the Stranger's ring? Is that Cassandra uses Doctor Strange's ring?
Yeah, so basically they decide to let her... They say, we'll let you live. So they take the helmet off, they let her live, and they're like, Wolverine again, fantastic acting from Hugh Jackman, is trying to explain to her, like, she thinks she's banished and Charles is, never wanted her. So he tries to explain to her, if he hadn't known you were here, he would have torn a hole in the universe to get you out.
Yeah,
he
that was powerful.
Know you were here and stuff, and it was really, really good. And anyway, she agrees. She goes, look, you let me live. So she's still a bad guy, but she's fair. So she goes, I'll send you back. And she goes, this fucking time jumping or traveling wizard appeared here one of the days. You see then behind her, you can see Doctor Strange's cloak on the oak. And she pulls out the fucking ring, and she opens up a ring, a portal, just as Goliath, which is the being that lives in the void and just eats everything that gets thrown down. Just before it gets there, they make it through this. They make it through the ring that she's created and get back to our world.
Yeah.
But
the Time Ripper has been put in a subway by the TVA, and that is the device that is going to destroy that timeline, right?
Yeah, well, because your man wants to do what was his name again? Paradox. Yeah, he's done it, not the TVA, because he gets arrested and stuff for it.
But that's why, it's like essentially, like we'll get to it in a sec, where like Cassandra follows him through or whatever. But Cassandra's her story function of it was then she was going to come true to use the Time Ripper to destroy a timeline that was already going to be destroyed.
Well, I think she's going to destroy all the timelines.
Oh, all of them.
Wasn't that
Okay.
the time? That was
She-
that.
oh,
That's what they
okay,
say
yeah.
when because when she has access to it, she can destroy
She wants to
everything.
destroy all of them. Okay.
Because like she was happy. She's when he mentions it when Pyro tells her, because obviously after the lads are gone, she's asking Pyro who did it. He's like, it was a TVA, and she goes, well, we had an agreement. So basically, they knew she was happy in the void. She could have left anytime she wanted, but she was happy down there. But now they've kind of broke the agreement by doing this. So she comes true into our world. But at the same time, we're getting the fight then, because all the Deadpool Corps turn up.
It's so good.
And,
and they used fucking Madonna like a prayer, just like the trailer when the two of them kind of fucking walk onto the street and you see that all the Deadpools have come through. And like you were saying, kind of looking around, you see like Lady Deadpool, and you're just going, oh fucking hell, she's pretty cool. To find out that Blake Lively afterwards is brilliant, and Baby Deadpool is their son.
It's his kids.
yeah, brilliant. But there's so many references there that it's a wet dream for people who are knowledgeable or more knowledgeable about that. But yeah, that fight scene then is like old boy-esque side-scrolling one shot fight scene that it's just fucking glorious. It's glorious, gratuitous violence, it's vicious, and it's just fucking brilliant. And you've got cracking music going on throughout the whole thing. Oh yeah, but before they actually do that fight scene, you get see Wolverine pull up and pulls on the cowl. And it's just like, they went for the fucking cowl. It's a really good joke. Deadpool's just like, something about the blowjob handles on that helmet or something.
But I thought that because they had Nice Pool comes back first, when he's talking, because he sees Deadpool, then Nice Pool turns up and he's yapping away to him, and then he ends up, Deadpool uses them as a human shield because all the fucking Deadpool guys are all shooting, and he gets fucking riddled to bits, and he's like, it's okay, you'll regenerate. He's like, what? Like, you regenerate, right? Like, no, he's been using them as a human shield and he doesn't regenerate. So that's what you're kind of thinking then when he's taking on the Deadpool Corps, if you don't know anything about Deadpool, is that they're after chopping through all these fucking different Deadpools and then like assuming, they must all be the same as Nice Pool, our Deadpool is thing, and they all just start fucking all getting back up after this really long, amazing action sequence. But it's cool. Like, I mean, just we can touch on the cameos because there's 3 cameos in that. Like the floating head, head pool is Nathan Fillion from the zombies, Marvel Zombies, and then there's from the Western one, whatever one is Matthew McConaughey, the voice of the kind of Western one, and then Paul Mullen from fucking Welcome to Wrexham was in the suit for Welshpool,
which was
gas.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Like, I hope they'll do in next season of Welcome to Wrexham. Maybe they'll be able to have him have a chat about it or something like that, because that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Hollywood movie,
but yeah, no, it's just over the top action, and again, as you said, it's just 2 dudes looking absolutely badass. Wolverine in the full yellow gear with the mask on. The 2 of them just absolutely
they look fucking cool.
It's awesome.
I thought with the masks though, they're doing some weird kind of shit with the eyes, obviously, to make them kind of fucking white, weird fucking CGI with the eyes on the cowl. It just could throw me off a bit. It's just like, that just looks fucking weird to me. But apart from that,
there wasn't as much. Well, it wasn't as much expression in it, but you could tell the expression in Deadpool's mask when he kind of moves his eyes. You weren't really getting that through the eye parts of Wolverine's. That was the kind of thing that was annoying. But then, still, fucking awesome.
Still fucking fantastic. And then, long story short, they have a chance to shut down this time splitter fucking thing. And the 2 of them go down and they have a back and forth about who's going to sacrifice themselves to do it. And, Wolverine is like, no, look, this is my chance to fucking redemption and blah, blah, blah. And you think he's going to, it's going to be him. And at this point, it's just like, it's obviously not going to be Deadpool. Are we going to get Hugh Jackman dying again? And just like, kind of strange. But then there's an old switcheroo and Deadpool kind of knocks him out and he goes in to try and shut down this thing by grabbing a MacGuffin, wires and all this fucking polarity or some shit.
It's something about if you go down and basically you're almost acting like a circuit breaker or whatever, because she's using this machine. And if you go down and link up, grab the fucking time wires from one side and from the other side,
Match the
and
purple
link
ones
it,
with the blue
yeah,
ones.
yeah, and you make a circuit, then that should short circuit her and stop what she's doing and kill her.
Yeah.
And he can't quite do it. Like he's got one
Yeah, he
side of
can't
it,
reach one
and
of the sides, and
he
then
can't reach the other side, and he's struggling. And then all of a sudden, Wolverine appears beside him because he's fucking smashed through the door that he's been banging down for the last whatever few seconds, and he smashes it, and then like. It's fucking man. Hugh Jackman is ripped.
He
even
is
see
a
like
massive human being.
Because he's now top off, and he's wearing, and you just see Ryan Reynolds just leaning back and looking him up and down and giving him a nod.
He's like for a fucking 50 whatever year old man. He makes like Ryan Reynolds, who is fucking ripped himself. Pretty good shape. He makes him look like a fucking dweeb. It's unbelievable the size of this fucking man, like the veins and just fucking hell. But yeah, it turns out that one of them would have died, but because it was two of them, they fucking did something with the polarity of the time wire shit, and they both survive. And then there's the bit where people from the TVA that I'm guessing are in the movie come into
TV show,
from the TV show arrive, and I didn't really know what was going on at all there. Who was that lady that arrived?
So she starts off as kind of one of the. She's in charge of one of the kind of the troopers. She's kind of like head of the troopers in the first season, and then they're trying to say there's something rotten, from the inside of it, like the thing that you think that the timelines and these time lords and Kang and all this other shit.
Yeah.
There's something you guys don't know. They're lying to you all, and she ends up being one of the ones that actually believes them. And anyway, she's obviously gone on to take Ravonna Renslayer's job as head of that particular branch of the TVA. But yeah, they bring her back, and I think when they bring them back and they're back in the TVA office, they kind of have this. This is where I'm saying they left it completely wide open because they're just like, you've got more work to do. So it's kind of like, okay, they don't really say exactly why what they did worked or why. Okay, fair enough, it stopped her, but it goes, look, your own universe is now not going to blow up anymore, and it's just whatever you did down there is stopping your universe from blowing up. So you can't just fucking brush over it. Whatever you did down there, the whole point of the movie was without his anchor person, this whole fucking thing was going to end. What do you mean? Whatever you did down there, they just held hands and grabbed some wires.
Just like,
why is their universe now fine? Why is everything fine because of it?
Yeah,
it was just they just kind of glossed over it. Like
they're just kind of stitching. It is. I think like obviously this movie had a difficult production. Being made during the writer's strike and all that shit. But it does seem that that kind of chaos made its way onto screen. Where there's like when Hugh Jackman jumped on board as well, they had to change things up and all this. But it does seem like there's bits where it's just like, well, yeah, they do that, and then that's fine. Yeah, good. Let's move on. They're just trying to obviously maybe cut down on the runtime a little bit, but there's so much thrown into it that look, it's a fucking Deadpool Wolverine movie, not really.
But they're now in the same over,
but
universe.
It's very glaring kind of issues that you're going. But that doesn't make any fucking sense. You know what I mean? This plot is nonsense. Like it's absolute fucking nonsense. It's just a means for things to happen on screen, which is fine in this. But yeah, like it ends up where I was trying to think, how are they going to end it? Like, is he going to? Does he have to go back to his world? Is he going to go back to set things right? But then you kind of that has no weight because you haven't seen his world. And again, I think you should have fucking seen something like that. Because even when cause I keep wanting to say fucking Casanova, when Cassandra Nova goes into his head, all you see is like he's just sitting in a field with a couple of pillars behind him, and it's very. This was filmed on a fucking soundstage, green screen. We ran out of budget, kind of stuff. So you don't really see his world. So obviously, it's alluded that he's gone back to that world, but then he ends up staying with Deadpool and joins him for dinner with all his mates who are not in the fucking movie at all, and that's kind of criminal. They're in all his mates and all like the people who set up in the first two movies are in two scenes around, like in one location, filmed probably in one day. Bar Peter.
Yeah, but I think to be fair, it's a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Like I think there is going to be a Deadpool 3, and I'm sure they'll all play a part.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're obviously very underused. I just would like to know more about the breakup. Like you see in the trailer, even says, "Blow the candles out, buddy." So it's like, okay, straight away, she's obviously not still with him if she's calling him buddy.
Yeah.
What
happened there? You know,
but there's not enough to explain what happened there. So, but then by the end of it, there's almost a little, I did it for you, kind of that.
Yeah,
So,
that's a nice moment.
But I'd imagine by the time Deadpool 3 comes around, they'll probably be back together.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her get her superpowers, like as I think I said before. She's copycat.
Yeah.
When I think I'd like to see her get superpowers in somewhere for it to be deadly. But yeah, like it's. I thought it's as you said, we've put it together. You've put it together quite well there, Daz, with regards to the way. But as you said, it is just a bunch of scenes kind of thrown together rather than a really coherent story. But like I think isn't that where we get it? We kind of finish it up and get into the. What I loved was the most of the way through the credits.
We get
behind the scenes,
the love letter, the behind the scenes footage from all pretty much of 20th Century Fox's Marvel outings, which was fucking great. A nice way to again, it's just like it does serve well as a love letter to the 20th Century Fox Marvel universe, which is a dead universe now, but it's a nice love letter with some nice shots, and just to see the fun people are having behind the scenes, even some of these fucking shitty movies, like obviously having a lot of fun. That was really nice. Then we get that final post credit scene where we see Chris Evans go fucking absolutely nuts and tirade.
Yeah,
it's cursing his fucking ass
Deadpool.
off, and you say, loved it. Like
it's because he absolutely nailed exactly what Deadpool said. You think that Deadpool has completely set this dude up to lie, and then he goes, look, cuts back to the TVA, and Deadpool has the fucking remote control on the telly. He's like, look, I have fucking proof. I have proof. And he turns on, and then you see for Chris Evans say the exact words Deadpool has said. You fucking shit-eating, cocksucking, da 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 da. And he's just going off on one. The exact same words, and it's just perfect.
Yeah.
But it's a nice way to sign it off.
But as a movie, like, called Deadpool and Wolverine, as you're saying, it's about those two guys, and they absolutely fucking nail it. With their chemistry is astonishing. There's set pieces. There's so many good moments to this movie as a cohesive whole. It's a kind of meandering mess or whatever, but there's so much to love about it, and just Ryan Reynolds he was born to play that character, and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is born to play that character. Like, there's even the moment where they give a reason why he's wearing the suit, like where he's this fucking gruff guy who's like alcoholic and fucking lamenting his dead friends or whatever, and when he just said, why wear the suit? And he said he wears it like to remind him of what happened, to remind him of his friends, and just to honor them, and you just go, that's fucking, that works. And that kind of stuff works, like when they're on screen, and even when they're kind of trying to tug at the heartstrings or whatever, it works because they're very good fucking actors. And they've set up the characters so well, especially Hugh Jackman, where you just you're with them the whole fucking way. But yeah, the plot is absolute complete fucking gibberish nonsense. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'd watch it again.
Nice one. Well done for taking us through that, Daz. I think this is a longer episode. I think because we spent the extra bit of time at the start, the spoiler-free part, and also my 20-minute rant on the Acolyte, but I think you did that, fucking pace that very well, for considering it's it's
so much stuff,
not really a super linear kind of story. But yeah, look, we both recommend it. So look, with the movie review done, that's the end of this week's episode. We thank you as always for listening and watching, and if you could like, subscribe, share, tell your buddies in work, whatever, we really appreciate it. And we will see you next week for another great movie, hopefully. Take it easy.
See you later. Let's fucking go.